Okay, thank you, Mr. Chairman. In Sweden, we have environmental courts since 11 years. The system was established in 1999. And my presentation is about the Swedish Environmental Court, and I have written a report on my experience of the Swedish Environmental Courts. First, I would like to say some words about our legislation, very brief. And then I will move to the court system, and then I will move to my experience of this system. And I have been working within this system for 11 years since it was established. The environmental code is the most important piece of environmental legislation in Sweden. It came into force in 1999 at the same time as the court system was established. The code is a framework law. It contains rules from 16 previous acts. There are, for example, rules on the management of land and water, nature conservation, the protection of plant and animal species, about environmental hazardous products and waste. It also includes claims for damages. In the code, there are also procedure rules for the environmental code. Actually, the code is a mixture of different pieces of legislation, such as environmental law, civil law, administrative law, and also criminal law. The overall purpose of the environmental code is to promote a sustainable development that assure a healthy and sound environment for present and future generations. Now I move to the court system. There are 5 regional environmental courts in Sweden and 1 superior environmental court, namely Environmental Court of Appeal. The regional courts are connected to district courts, to general courts, and the superior environmental court to an appellate civil court in Stockholm. The environmental courts decide on all kinds of cases that follow from the application of the environmental code. The courts have power to review and rule on the formal legality of decision, but also to rule on the actual content of the decision, merits review. The environmental court has a panel consisting of 1 law-trained judge, 1 environmental technical advisor, and 2 lay expert members. They sit together to hear a case and all act as equal when making a decision. The judge and the technical advisor are employed by the court and all work full-time as environmental judges. The Environmental Court of Appeal hears appeals from the 5 regional courts. Leave to appeal is required. 3 law-trained judges participate in deciding application for leave to appeal. If the judges have given leave to appeal, the court then is comprised of 4 law-trained judges, and 1 of them can be replaced with a technical judge if it's appropriate, and often it is appropriate. Now I move to the experience from my perspective as being the head of the Environmental Court of Appeal for 11 years.
1 minute.
In my opinion, the environmental court system have high credibility and are fully accepted. And why do I think that? And I have mentioned 10 points. I would like to mention those 10 points. First, the environmental code is a comprehensive legislation and gives the environmental courts both civil and administrative jurisdiction and a range of enforcement powers. Number 2, the code gives the court the possibility to make an integrated and holistic approach when ruling on a case. Number 3, the permit system for polluting activity in first instance is a one-stop shop for polluting activities. Number 4, the code contains procedural rules for the courts. They are especially adapted to management on environmental cases. There are also special rules for procedural cost. The loser normally doesn't pay the winner. I think that's important for access to justice, actually. We have technical expertise. That is also very important. It gives confidence to the court and its decision. And the time is running, I understand. So I would like to mention the last point, number 10. I have been traveling all over Sweden for many years, 20 years, sharing hearings and listening to appealing enterprises, to central, regional and local bodies, and to NGOs and people living close to the site in dispute. And in my general opinion is that an open and user-friendly hearing is one example of good environmental governance that gives access to justice. People in general are grateful that the court has come to the site to look and listen. They are grateful that they have been allowed to address the judges and argue for what they think is right. Thank you for coming and listening to us. I have heard many times, and thank you for listening to me now. Thank you very much.